I did want to start the show here talking about DeVonta Smith. This guy absolutely, I mean, he's been balling. He has been balling, and A.J. Brown was out, Matt. And I was surprised, Philadelphia moved him from the inside primarily to almost exclusively an outside wide receiver. And again, if you thought that, hey, he's better suited in the slot, DeVonta Smith says, hey, hold up now. I can play everywhere. And I think that versatility was truly shining, especially last week for Philadelphia.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Yes, season low 21.6% snaps in the slot. So, yeah, to me, I know that DeVonta Smith has been thriving in the slot of late, but I have no questions about his ability to play outside. But yeah, right. I really wanted to talk about this because I think it's going a little bit under the radar how much DeVonta Smith is balling right now. Over the last 3 weeks, he ranks 7th among wide receivers in team air yard share, 5th in team target share. He's 2nd in yards per route run at 3.51, wow. 4th in first downs per route run. Like he has been one of the most productive receivers in the NFL over the last few weeks. And obviously not having A.J. Brown last week helps that, but he had 180 plus yards a few games ago with A.J. Brown in the fold. And I think that some of the structural changes in this Eagles offense are a big part of what he's been able to accomplish of late, because I think this has gone, and we've talked about a lot about the Eagles this year, specifically as it relates to A.J. Brown and how we felt at times this Eagles offense was very boring and like not that well constructed, right? I think we've said that on the show. I think that's a fair categorization of how we've described Kevin Patullo's offense. However, credit to Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo and probably Jalen Hurts and everybody involved here. After they got embarrassed by the Giants on Thursday Night Football, they go on the mini bye, right? Where they have a little bit of an extended break there. That's what people call it, the mini bye, right? They got like 10 days off to kind of recalibrate and all that. And I think that we've seen a lot of changes since then. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen a lot more under center. We've seen like Jalen Hurts truly under center, which is very rare. He is one of the least frequent quarterbacks under center since he became the starter in Philadelphia. He's been getting under center, and they've been doing these deeper dropbacks from center in true like play action as well has been a big part of this past week against the Giants in order to get the run game going. Because real quick side note, I don't want to be mean to this guy, but Grant Calcaterra has been on this Eagles roster forever as their like number 2, 3 tight end. And that guy cannot block a soul. And for whatever reason, he's just hung around this roster, and he's got to be one of the worst blocking tight ends in the NFL. So the Eagles finally say, okay, and because we mentioned this, I think after week 1, that they were throwing out a lot of multi-tight end sets, and these guys can't block. So it's made the run game worse. Well, they finally say, hey, forget that. We're just going to throw an extra offensive lineman on the field. We're going to throw a 6th offensive lineman on the field, which I thought really juiced up the run game. Saquon Barkley had his best game in the NFL season so far. And then I was just charting this past week games for DeVonta Smith, and there's a ton of just like Jalen Hurts under center, top of the drop, DeVonta Smith open against man coverage, zone coverage, whatever, on a dig route. And then when they got into more of their kind of static shotgun concepts, that's when he's running these comebacks and curls, and he's just so good at setting up extra separation against man coverage when on these more static routes as well. So it kind of feels like DeVonta Smith right now, I just think has been a better player than A.J. Brown wire to wire this year, straight up.
Oh, there's no question.
And no question about that. I think he's, frankly, I was talking about this with Mina Kimes the other day. I think he's been the best Eagles skill position player all season long, and I don't even think that's particularly close. He's just been excellent all season, and I think he's a really good fit right now. If they want to do this under center play action, the new wrinkles, these heavier condensed sets, he can do that. And if they want to get into their spread concepts, shotgun, well, then he's really good at those static routes as well. And that's not to say that peak A.J. Brown, who we can talk about in a second, is not a fit for those things as well. I think he is, but they have a guy right now who's in the prime of his career, who is coming off a season in 2024 where he made a huge breakthrough in reception perception. I say this all the time. A.J. Brown was number 1 in success rate versus man coverage last year. Number 2 was DeVonta Smith, and that was a big jump for him based off his previous seasons where he was like 74%, 76%, 73%. Last year, he jumps up to 78.3%, one of the best marks in the league, obviously. Number 2. He really took that jump last year. It was sort of because of this move around role, but also I just think he's in the prime of his career. He's in his 5th season right now. Like, this is when he should be ready to kind of go to Pro Bowl, all pro status at the receiver position. I just kind of feel like if something was to happen with A.J. Brown, if he was to get traded, which I don't know if he is, I think that DeVonta Smith is capable of being the lead dog. And last week's game was a little bit of a proof of concept of that to me.
Yeah, you talk about against the Giants, he had 84 yards the week prior against Minnesota, 183. Hello. Over the last 4 games, as you've mentioned, Matt, he is averaging 107.5 receiving yards per game. I don't need to tell you, that is incredibly impressive. Just again, adding more fuel to the fire that if he was to be relied upon as the number 1 wide receiver, I think he could do it.